Hello everyone, welcome to the Battle for Azeroth beta. Today I am doing the Frost Death Knight, as you can see here, described as an icy harbinger of doom, channeling runic power and delivering vicious weapon strikes, using dual weapons, axes, maces, or swords. And as you can see here, these are the 6 abilities which kind of represent the core of the specialization, starting off with Frost Strike, one of your main abilities that costs 25 runic power and it does some good frost damage. Then we have Obliterate, probably your most powerful attack, costing 2 runes, and there's a lot of stuff based on this ability that I will get to shortly. Then we also have our next ability, Howling Blast, your ranged frost damage that also applies Frost Fever, which is one of the diseases that does damage over time for you. Then we have Killing Machine, as you see here. Very important. Your auto attack critical strikes have a chance to make your next Obliterate automatically critically strike. That's a big part of this class where you can do a lot of damage. Remorseless Winter is an AoE ability that's around you and you can hit your enemies on a very short cooldown. Very useful ability. Then Rhyme Obliterate has a 45% chance to cause your next Howling Blast consume no runes and deal 300% additional damage. So here's the core rotation. You want to Death Grip them in, use your Howling Blast, your Frost Strike, your Obliterate. And that's mainly it there. Of course, you want to follow your procs. You have all these warnings on your screens, abilities glowing up, kind of telling you what to do. And of course, when it's flashing on Obliterate, you of course want to use that immediately. That's probably the priority because it does a lot of damage. And when you don't have that up, you have your Frost Strike to use, and you can also heal up your character with your Death Strike. So that is basically the rotation at its most core aspect, without any talent points really. So now let's look at the Frost Death Knight's talent tree from level 56 all the way down to level 100. Starting off at 56 with an Inexorable Assault. Basically you gain a stack of this every 8 seconds to a max of 5. And when you use Obliterate, it consumes a stack to deal additional frost damage. Then when you have Icy Talons, your runic power spending abilities increase your melee attacks by 5% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. And Cold Heart, you gain a stack of this every 2 seconds up to 20 times, or makes your Chains of Ice ability deal some frost damage. Chains of Ice is your root effect that keeps your enemies in place. So that's just an increase in damage. Level 57, Runic Attenuation. Auto attacks have a chance to generate 3 runic power. Murderous Efficiency. Killing Machine can grant you your rune back at a 50% chance. And Horn of Winter. Basically, you get 2 runes and generate some runic power. Probably the best ability from the level 57 talents here. Similar to this one as it generates runic power, but Horn of Winter also gives you a rune back. Level 58, this increases the range of your Death Grip. And level 56 and 57 are kind of focused on damage increases and your runic power. And level 58, as you can see here, is more focused on utility. We have Asphyxiate, which is a 4-second stun, and Blinding Sleet, which is a 5-second stun essentially on an AoE basis. Level 60, we have Avalanche. Howling Blast with Rhyme active causes some icicles to attack your enemies for frost damage. Rhyme, of course, is where Obliterate has a chance to make your next Howling Blast consume no runes and deal 300% increased damage. Frozen Pulse, we have fewer than 3 full runes. Your auto attacks can do some AoE frost damage. And Frost Scythe, which is an AoE ability that does 4 times normal damage when it's a crit. So level 60 is focused on AoE damage. Level 75, we have Permafrost. Auto attacks have a chance, or they do grant you an Absorb Shield equal to 40% of the damage you deal. Wraith Walk, so movement speed increase and can break you out of root effects. And we have Death Pack, which is a way for you to heal yourself up. So as you can see, level 75 is focused on, the defensive part of the class, where you can heal yourself up or, just get yourself a shield and run away from root effects. So again, defensive abilities. Level 90, Gathering Storm. Each rune spent during Remorseless Winter increases damage by 10% and extends its duration. Which of course I didn't show you guys that, but yeah, Remorseless Winter, of course, is that AoE ability that I mentioned earlier that slows down your enemy's movement speed. And your mastery just increases your frost damage. Good thing to keep in mind, of course, while you're working with your killing machine for those critical hits with your Obliterate. Anyways, Glacial Advance. You summon some Glacial Spikes, dealing damage and applying Razor Ice to enemies. So an AoE ability. And Frostworm's Fury basically summons a dragon to do a lot of damage and frost damage to your enemies. So again, some more AoE abilities down here. Now level 100, starting off with Ice Cap. Your Frost Strike and Obliterate crits reduce the cooldown of Pillar of Frost, which that is, as you can see here, it is a buff. 15% strength for 15 seconds, and each rune spent increases your strength by an additional 1%. Obliteration. While Pillar of Frost is active, Frost Strike and Howling Blast always grant Killing Machine have a 30% chance to generate a rune. And Breath of Sindragosa, another AoE ability to hit some targets. Obliteration seems very powerful, as you can use Pillars of Frost pretty frequently and do a good amount of damage with Killing Machine. So now that we finished right on time, we have some enemies to showcase some more of this class's abilities. So as you saw there, I called the dragon, just laid waste to anybody around me, directly in front of me I should say. And we have Remorseless Winter, we have our Razor Ice, just a lot of ice frost damage coming out of your Death Knight. The whole point, right? You are a Frost Death Knight. So as you can see here, you have all this damage, and you can use Remorseless Winter, your AoE ability, pretty much every other encounter or so. Is very good ability. So here's a very powerful mob that I found here, just to show you the long-term aspect in terms of damage for the Frost Death Knight. You can see it's pretty consistent in what you can do. You have a lot of procs, just a lot of damage coming out, a lot of dots, and of course with the right talents you can have frequent attacks to increase your attack speed. So you're always doing some damage and generating runic power and hopefully some ruins. But of course the class is kind of focused on getting those Obliterate critical strikes, which will do a bulk of your damage. I do have to say, Frost Death Knight is a very fun class to play. I love the whole mobility aspect, just running around, hitting people with your two weapons, hitting them quickly with your haste, and just doing a lot of frost damage. I find it very interesting in terms of how you play it, and visually it looks like a really cool class to play. And they have some good survivability, as you saw there. I'm pretty much at full health. But anyways, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, sub to my channel, and I'll see you next time.